Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Hi everyone, and welcome on this Tuesday afternoon to Spokane Talks Live. I'm your host, Collin Pittman, and if you haven't noticed, we are in a bit of a new looking set. We have a lot going on here with a new blue backdrop, lots of new lights. It's pretty exciting, and we're really loving it, and we hope you do too. We have a great show today with Charly Wolters here from Hireability Spokane, along with one of her colleagues, Stephen Iman. Their mission at Hireability Spokane is to make sure that our local disabled and special needs have jobs and are able to find jobs in our local communities, which is really neat. So they'll be here to talk about that. Chris Cargill will be here from the Washington Policy Center to talk about what they're up to at the Washington Policy Center. And then we're going to end the show this afternoon with a new segment here at Spokane Talks Live called Tuesday's Trending Talk. And we've got lots of stories in that Tuesday's Trending Talk segment. We'll be right back after the break.
For the Inland Northwest most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with Spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with Spokesman.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer, and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
And we're back live in the Spokane Talk studio on Spokane Talks Live. I'm your host, Collin Pittman, and I am joined with Charly Wolters from Hireability Spokane and Stephen Iman from Hireability Spokane. And for those of you that don't know, Hireability Spokane is an organization in Spokane where you guys are really focusing on the special needs and the disabled folks in our community and helping them find jobs. But you mentioned a little while ago that you really focus on the business side of things. So what did you mean by that?
We are helping connect Spokane businesses to a local untapped resource. There's about approximately 400 individuals with developmental disabilities in Spokane who are willing, able, and eager to work.
400?
Yes.
Wow.
I know. It's very exciting. There's a lot of opportunity out there for our business.
And, it's funny because I'll walk down town and, in various, coffee shops and fast food restaurants and businesses and retail stores. And there seem to be always, we're hiring, messages in the windows or little posters that say we're hiring. And yet I really doubt that in their application pool, they're looking for people like that. And, so what do you find to be a challenge between making sure businesses know that these people are really responsible, really hard workers most of the time, and really just want to work? They don't want to be a burden. They want to get out there and do something meaningful.
Right. It's about opening up their eyes to different styles of communication or different strategies to make sure that they're getting a good fit.
So how do people come to you? Do you work with businesses? Do you reach out to businesses? Or do they come to you and say, we need help finding these people?
We're hoping that eventually soon they will come to us. But right now it's just building connections in the city of Spokane. So presenting to the city council or just meeting people through networking events. And then what we do is ask them to co-host a breakfast event with us, where we can explain to their colleagues or other business people in the community what Hireability Spokane does.
And so what is your role in Hireability Spokane?
I am the team lead.
Lead.
Right. So I am kind of responsible for most of the networking. We're also currently working on a new website and logo. Yeah, so we're super excited about that. I'm kind of just making sure that stuff gets done.
A lot of the detail work and
right,
the little
exactly.
things, which are important.
Yeah.
And so, Stephen, what is your role in Hireability Spokane?
Well, Charlie and I are colleagues, and we work together I'm a team member, so I come in and help out with, whatever there is that needs to get done. We do a lot of different events, including interview events. There was one that was really exciting just a few weeks ago where, at the end of the interview event, all the people said these were some really exceptional applicants, and it's just really exciting to see that.
That's so neat.
Yeah.
Do you think that businesses are surprised?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. So the event that Stephen was talking about was at the city of Spokane, and HR brought in different department managers. And at the end, we had this roundtable where they were giving feedback, and they said that these applicants were more prepared than most of the other applicants we see.
That is outstanding. And I really think that that's a common misconception.
It totally is, yeah. And people kind of generalize, right? They'll generalize maybe there's somebody with a disability that they know,
right,
and they think that most other people with disabilities are typical or similar to that other person.
Right.
Where they're just as many skills and abilities and differences as we have.
And that's so interesting. I even in high school, I noticed that several of my peers, I might have two peers that have autism, and one is outstanding in math and science,
right,
and the other is outstanding in the arts. So they're not necessarily, comparable. Just because they have autism doesn't mean that they're, poor in such and such subject. And I think we try to fit them into a box, and they really do have all those differences and talents. It's just like the rest of us.
Exactly. That would be like lumping together people who have strawberry blonde hair and saying, well, they're all going to be this way.
Right.
And it doesn't work like that.
We are almost extinct, fun fact. I heard by 2050. We'll see.
I think it's an excellent point as well you make just with history. I mean, because we didn't always there was a history of a lot of exclusion and putting people in institutions and settings that are not agreeable for inclusion and for really gaining and showing those skills. So like the generation that you're talking about, a lot of us, we grew up with a lot of our peers in school with us, and we see just the vast possibilities and expertise that these people bring, in our classmates. And we also see that, on the spectrum of like the diversity of humans, like neurologically speaking, like the neurodiversity, if you will, of humanity, that it's a beautiful thing and it's an asset to businesses.
That is so interesting because I don't know how often that's put into context, considering that history that we do have with those that are different from us.
Right.
We that whole exclusion thing, whereas now we're trying to really embrace those differences, and it really has changed. Even probably not much in my 18 years on the face of the earth, but like my parents' generation, even, you know, in the past 40 years, you know,
A lot.
So that's really neat. You know, at local grocery stores, I'll, you know, see a lot of my special needs friends working there, or so it's really amazing at how capable they really are. So how can businesses, if I was a business and I wanted to contact you and I was looking for some applicants, how could a business contact you?
Hireabilityspokane.org.
Hireabilityspokane.org. There you go. Hireabilityspokane.org. Thank you guys for coming on. This is a really important topic. And, you know, 400 applicants in the city of Spokane, the people that are looking for jobs and that have
Here to work.
So that's incredible. And in a city this size, 400 people, that's a lot of people, especially that can fill those jobs that are opened in downtown Spokane. So thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you, Collin.
And we will be right back
so much.
with Chris Cargill from Washington Policy Center right after the break.
They say it takes a community to raise a family. It also takes one to build a business. I came to Spokane 12 years ago as a Whitworth student, and I planned to leave after graduation. But the more I got to know this community, the more I wanted to become a part of it. My husband and I have built our business in Spokane, and now we're raising our family here too. We operate a consulting company that provides creative business development strategies. Our approach is holistic and dependent on intentional connections and relationships. And no one understands connections and relationships better than GSI. They direct momentum towards investments in our community, provide resources that help business leaders connect, and they're dedicated and passionate about making Spokane great. GSI gives me the confidence to build my business here because they believe every organization, even a small one like mine, adds big value to our community. With GSI's help, Spokane will be a place my son will want to build his career too. I'm Eva Marquette, owner of Freshview. We're creating something greater with Greater Spokane Incorporated.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
All right, welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. We are in our new set here. Blue backdrop looks a little different here, but we have Chris Cargill from the Washington Policy Center joining me. And Chris, I don't know that many people know what the Washington Policy Center is. I know I don't. I had to do a little research this morning before you came in. So why don't you kind of tell everyone what you guys do at the Washington Policy Center?
Sure. We're a free market think tank, a public policy organization. So if folks have heard of groups like the Heritage Foundation or the Brookings Institute or the American Enterprise Institute, we're basically a state version of those type of organizations. Those are national groups. We're a state version. So we're made up of different research centers. We have a center for agriculture, education, environment, government reform, healthcare, small business, transportation. We also have a worker rights center. We have a research center director that's in charge of each one of those centers that produces public policy research and analysis and tries to make sure that we're informing citizens and our lawmakers across the state and giving them accurate, up-to-date information on what's going on and making sure our state adopts sound public policy.
That's a really important resource. So what are some recent studies that have gone on through the Washington Policy Center and maybe things that you guys have found or are finding out now?
Well, one of the things we're concentrating on right now is trying to make sure people are updated on what just happened in the recently completed legislative session. Also concentrating on the initiatives that are gaining steam and gaining signatures as we speak and will likely be on the ballot this fall. One of those initiatives is the carbon tax initiative that people are probably being asked to sign.
Pretty big around here.
Yeah, some of the grocery stores, folks are out there asking for signatures on that. So it's important for people to know what exactly that initiative would do. It's 38 pages long. A lot of people don't realize that. It would do a lot of things, including raising a lot of taxes. So people need to be aware of that. And it also includes some, what we call, quite frankly, some secrets inside of it that people aren't aware of. So our website is a great tool for people to go online to read a little bit about some of these policies, to kind of peel back the curtain and see what's behind some of these policies and some of the things that folks are trying to ask you to adopt.
Right. So the Washington Policy Center website, what is that? Where can
WashingtonPolicy.org is the website, and there's an opportunity for you once you get on there to get under the tabs and search for different types of information or different topics as well. So if you're interested in the carbon tax or income taxes or education policy, what have you, you can go under different tabs.
Right. And it's really important for us as voters and business owners and community members to know what these things are and what's going on around us in our region, in our state, and even at national level. So I think this is a really important resource for people to really go learn about things. How do you think that people are really misinformed when it comes to policies like what you guys are teaching them about?
I don't know if it's necessarily misinformed. It's just everybody is really, really busy. And so, you're running your kids back and forth. You got soccer practice, t-ball practice, all sorts of different things. So a lot of people don't necessarily have the time to research 38 pages of a carbon tax initiative.
And break it down.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what we do. We try to break it down into a plain English explanation. So let us do the hard work. You go ahead and continue with your life. But let us do the hard work, and then we'll tell you what's inside a lot of these things and try to make sure that you're educated as much as you can possibly be. That's our job. We take it very seriously and try to make sure that we're informing the public.
That's great. So recently, just about 20 minutes ago, there's some breaking news that the Washington State tax revenue forecast is surging.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk a little bit about that and what that means?
So we get these updates periodically from the State Department of Revenue on what's happening with the state revenue forecast. And once again, it's up pretty significantly when you compare it this biennium to the last biennium. In fact, up 16% over the last biennium. So that's a pretty significant number. In fact, what they're predicting now is that the state revenue forecast is up about $300 million more than what they were expecting just in the last from the last time that they actually put out this report. And if you look out into the next biennium as well, I want to make sure I have my numbers correct. They're expecting the 2019 to 2021 biennium revenue of about $49.3 billion, which is 9% more than the current or the biennium that we'll be going into, the 2017 to 2019 biennium. So those are significant numbers. It tells you that the people of Washington State are working harder than ever before to send more and more of their tax dollars to Olympia. And what it also tells you is that tax revenue in Washington State is stable. We don't need an income tax. We don't need additional taxes. The taxes that we already have and that we're already sending to Olympia are doing
sufficient.
Are doing a terrific job for what the government needs them for.
That's great. So what does this mean for your average Joe? What do all these numbers mean to them?
What it means is that they deserve a pat on the back. Oftentimes legislators or politicians, they won't say the simple two-word response to that, and that is simply thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending more and more of your tax dollars to us and letting us spend those tax dollars.
Yeah.
What instead the response often is send us more.
We don't have enough.
Yeah, we need more and more tax dollars. When really, as I mentioned, the response should be thank you. So to the average Joe out there, let me, on behalf of the politicians, even though I'm not a politician, but let me be one of the first people that will ever say to you, thank you for sending your hard-earned tax dollars to Olympia, to City Hall, to the county courthouse, because you continue to send more and more as these numbers indicate.
And many of those great tax contributors are really hard workers right here in Spokane.
Exactly. They work every day. They continue to contribute to the economy, and if it weren't for them, government wouldn't exist. So they really deserve a pat on the back.
That is really neat. Thank you for coming in, Chris.
My pleasure.
If you need to contact the Washington Policy Center for any reason, where could you go? Is there a phone number besides website that they could contact?
Yeah, all the phone numbers are on the website.
Neat.
But if you need the phone number, it's 509-570-2384.
Great, and we encourage you to go take a look at the Washington Policy Center website to learn more about current policies. When we come back, we're going to be talking Tuesday's Trending Talk. It's a new segment here on Spokane Talks Live. We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, I'm weather forecaster and assignment anchor at Spokane Talks Online, Collin Pittman, and I am honored to be the host of the new program, Spokane's Youth Spotlight, brought to you by Spokane Talks Online and the Spokesman Review, where we are interviewing and getting to know outstanding youth in our community each month. If you'd like to nominate someone in our community that you think should be recognized, that is doing something great here in the region or has an amazing story, visit SpokaneTalksOnline.com or Spokesman.com and look under Youth Spotlight to nominate. And be sure to tune in each month as we find the best in the Inland Northwest.
Hi, I'm Larry Myers, owner of River Ridge Hardware. Welcome to our garden center here on the corner of Garland and Driscoll. We have fresh plants that come in weekly from all of our local growers. We can make your garden look like our garden. Here at River Ridge, we've been here 30 years. We're your full-service neighborhood hardware store. This is our sprinkler aisle, where my knowledgeable staff will help you put together your sprinkler system so it will make your yard lush green for the spring and summer. This is River Ridge Hardware's rental center, where we provide a multitude of equipment for rent for the do-it-yourselfer. Next time you're working on your home or yard this spring and summer, stop by, say hi, and we'll help you get the project done.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
All right, well, this is sure to be a good new segment. It's called Tuesday's Trending Talk, and we have some funny stories and also some funny people joining us.
Yes, at least two. You're not very funny.
I'm not very funny. No. I am sometimes. Depends on the day. So
he thinks he is.
Yeah, actually, you're probably right. Okay, so we have a couple of our Spokane Talks team members here, actually all three of us, and we're going to talk about trending topics on this Tuesday. So recently,
yes,
IHOP, International House of Pancakes,
right?
They changed their name to what? Do you know?
International House of Burgers.
Burgers,
right?
But at first they said it was IHOB. Yeah. So I thought, okay, that's going to mean International House of Breakfast, right?
Oh, okay.
Did you not hear that?
No, I didn't think that.
Okay, that's a generational thing, I guess. I must check social media.
Several generations between us, kid.
Okay. So, yeah, they did change it to International House of Burgers, and I looked on their Twitter this morning, and this is what it says. Burgers so burger and good, we changed our name to IHOB for burgers. But many people were confused because a couple days ago they made this post that said, "Thanks for playing along," and then the caption was, "Well, that was a crazy week." So thanks for playing along. Many people thought, okay, they're really not changing their name to IHOB. And
well, I've heard news stories that once this is over, that it will be the old name.
The old name, yeah, it is going to be temporary. I checked on that this morning.
Okay.
And they're going to stick with IHOB.
Well, it's a marketing ploy to get attention, and it worked.
Is.
I mean,
Worked really well.
we're all talking about it.
Yes.
Okay.
It worked
on social media and here.
For me, a breakfast lover though, and pancakes.
You don't get up in time for breakfast. What are you talking about?
Well, I don't. But I like to go get breakfast. Like in the evenings. And go to breakfast. So this is kind of frustrating to me because I love burgers, but if I want a burger, I can go to Red Robin.
Okay.
So oh well. Okay, let's get to our second story here. This is kind of an interesting one. So a cruise ship passenger demanded a full refund for his trip on this Royal Caribbean cruise because his neighbors snored too loudly.
Like the neighbors in the next cabin.
The neighbors in the next cabin. So this is kind of the rundown of it here. This guy went on a Royal Caribbean cruise. He demanded a full refund because he claimed that his holiday was ruined by snoring neighbors. 8 days into the cruise, though, he told the staff that his neighbors snored too loudly. Okay, so first of all, why are you waiting 8 days into the cruise? And then it says that he refused to return to a cabin that was equivalent to the one he initially booked.
Okay.
So he wanted a nicer cabin.
Of course
and
he
he wanted a refund. So they didn't give him the nicer cabin. They would give him a cabin equivalent to the one he had. So he appealed for $2,436 for his trip, and he was rejected in court because the court said that his refusal to move to a different room was unreasonable. And I think, okay, what are your thoughts on that, though?
Well, I mean, it's clear he should have said something earlier if it was truly bothering him. It appears, and apparently the judge said so in a way, that it was a ploy to get money.
And I don't. If you're going into a cruise, don't you kind of have to expect?
Well, you're going to hear you're going to hear noise. It's a party, on a ship,
and you're stacked. It's like hotel rooms, literally. And
actually closer together in a lot of ways.
You can't get away from people. There's I don't know.
Well, you jump overboard if you want to get away from people.
Swim back to shore.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't want to do that, obviously.
No.
I mean, $2,500 would be nice, but he didn't get it.
What's good in the story to me is that the judge or the jury didn't cave into that because we see too many lawsuits today on frivolous things that just because somebody has insurance or deep pockets that get yeses.
Yeah.
And so I'm pleased to see that.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I bet he wasn't too happy about that, though.
No.
Okay, the third story is something that you don't see every day. It's a dog that looks shockingly like a sheep. Yeah, okay, so thanks to some pampering at a dog salon in Japan, this pup returned from a grooming session looking quite like the fluff ball, a cute little fluff ball, but a fluff ball nonetheless.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. If I sent my dog to a groomer and I got that back, I would probably be pissed.
Well, you probably would go to court.
And then I probably would go to court. But I saw that and I thought, oh, wow.
You know what worries me?
Maybe it's the trend. It's going to be a new trend.
Yeah, what worries us, I think, is that you're finding these stories.
Yeah.
A few of them are a little crazy. Okay.
They're pretty interesting.
Okay.
So there's that.
Yes.
And then, our last story today is rapper XXXTentacion. I hope I said that right. Age 20, was shot to death during a robbery on Monday outside of a motorcycle shop in Florida. Authorities said he was leaving a motorsport shop north of Miami, and he was approached by two armed men. And the statement said that at least one of them opened fire on him and then fled in a dark SUV. They all flee in dark SUVs. I'm glad they added that. But he vaulted to stardom last year after his song "Look at Me" climbed to number 34 on the Billboard.
So he's pretty popular.
He was popular, so that's really sad. And bright.
I know it'll come as a surprise, but I've never heard of him.
Actually, I had vaguely heard of him. Had you heard of him?
I've heard of him, yeah.
Did you listen to his music?
Yeah, I did.
See, I never heard of the songs, but I've vaguely heard of him.
Yeah.
Well, 50 years difference, kid.
Well, more than that between you and I haven't really. So, all right, interesting.
So, is that a wrap?
That's a wrap. We just talked about the rapper, and that's a wrap on the show, too. We'll leave you with that on this Tuesday. Thanks for joining us on Spokane Talks Live. We'll see you tomorrow.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Online LLC, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic, or to see this program again, please visit our website, SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Join us next Wednesday, noon, for another nourishing conversation on Spokane Talks Live.